Hey, and welcome back to Cortex Tutorial Tools. In this video, I have something huge for you. Tana just released their Publish page feature, which is an amazing feature that allows you to put anything that you have in your workspace out into the world, share it with people, send a link to colleagues, friends, collaborators, and have them read things as a nicely laid out, visually beautiful document. In this video, I'm going to walk you through three examples. One is meeting notes, one is for book reviews, and one is for sharing longer research reports with people, all directly from the structures you already have in your workspace, and it all looks quite beautiful. Now, as you go through this video, you're going to see a couple of super tags that have TANARIAN brain in parentheses after the super tag name. Those come from my template, TANARIAN brain, which you can get at the link down below. This template is a completely implemented, done for you second brain, comes with Para, GTD, Zettelkasten, loads of other things. Really powerful. Many people have gotten a lot out of it. And if you purchase it with the coupon code PAGE to celebrate the launch of Publish Page, then you get $50 off the purchase price. But with that out of the way, let's actually jump into the walkthrough, and I'm going to show you everything you can do with Tana Publish Page and how you can share your info with people really easily. So let's look at our examples. We'll start with the meeting notes example. So here I have a super tag that is a normal meeting super tag with a meeting date. We have a field for attendees and we have a agenda field. And what we also have here is an instance of a meeting, marketing meeting for Q4 of this year. And you see here, I have the meeting date is filled out to today. We can set that for, I don't know, 4 p.m. until 5 p.m., for example, as well. We have attendees, so John, Amanda, Ari, and Tamara. And we have agenda items, reviewing Q3 performance, deciding on marketing strategy, and forecasting for the next quarter. And then we have the meeting notes here, a summary. We have the review of Q3 performance, who was in the lead and doing that with some text, and then deciding on initiatives for Q4. And we have Amanda here, and we have one decision that we've made, which is running campaigns on TikTok and looking at the ROI of that. So how do I share all of this info with people? Could do copy paste, that would be annoying. So we have now Tana Publish. And all I have to do is right click here on the bullet and click Publish, open Publish Preview, and that gives me here preview. Let me zoom out a little bit so you get a little bit more of an overview of what's going on here. We have all of this here nicely laid out. I can choose between serif and sans serif by selecting this text button up here in the upper right. So if I click sans serif, it looks like that. And I have the meeting date field is visible here, attendees agenda. Now for fields in Tana Publish, I can change their appearance. So for the meeting date, I can, if I click this, select between label and value, right? Heading and paragraph. So that makes the field name a heading and the value of the field a normal paragraph. I can choose heading and list. So then the date of today of the meeting appears here as a bullet point. I can have only the date shown without the label of the field as a quote or as a paragraph, right? So this is a little bit larger and is in gray, or as a paragraph over here. Now I can do that, of course, with all of these. So the attendees can look like this, or as a list, or as quotes, or just the names here. I think here it makes sense to have labels and values. Everything you see here is indented, and everything that has something indented becomes a level of heading. So summary here is a heading. I can show that as a list. So then all of the indented parts here under summary become list items with a bullet point in front of them, or I select paragraph, that's also possible. Same here for the review Q3 performance heading. And here again, because this is a field, I can again choose to say label and value, heading and paragraph, heading and list, quote, or just paragraph. I'm going to keep this, and here again for normal paragraphs like you would have, you can choose to display these as a paragraph or as a quote if you want to pull something out a little bit more visually. And that's all there is to it. I can now click up here on publish, and then we will get a little button over here that then lets me view this on the web in just a second. Note published, link copy to clipboard. I can click this, and here we see very nice, easy on the eyes, super simple to share, right? So, and that's the basics of Tana Publish, right? You have a couple of meeting notes, you have them in a Supertag structured template, you click on publish, and it's out there and you can share the link with people. Super nice, super easy, super great to get started with. You can also, of course, unpublish a note. So if you click on unpublish here, you'll see the link here goes away. And if I try to open this up now, again, we get an error message and this note is no longer on the public internet. Now, this is also a good opportunity to talk about who has access to these notes. You see here in the URL bar, right? This has like a random string and then the name of your note, but that means it basically functions the same way as in Google Docs or any other sharing platform where you have the setting anyone with a link can view, right? Tana doesn't have any authentication yet where you can invite people with a specific email or from your organization to view notes. Anyone with the link can view these, but it's rather unlikely, in my view, that anyone is going to stumble randomly on these notes. But same sharing settings as anyone with a link can view, like you have in Google Docs. So that's for a meeting. Let me republish that, and we can again open the link and everything is back. Now, very simple use case. Let's look at another one. The second one is book reviews, right? So let's say you have a couple of books, and TANARIAN Brain, of course, comes with super tags for books and journal articles and whatever else you might be consuming and reading. And if I open these up, you see like I have a source status, what topic a specific book connects to, who the author is, all these cool things, quotes, highlights, Zettelkasten entry, what have you. What I also have done down here is I've created a section review, and I've created a new super tag here called book review. And that has a field rating, and it links to a reviewed book field at the beginning of Infinity. So this reviewed book field links to the source node here of the beginning of Infinity. And I've done all this for Moby Dick here as well. This also has a review and a rating and a little bit of info, and here for the information as well, right? So this also has a rating and a little thing that I've written about it. Now, how do I publish all of these? What I have here is a note that has the name, my book reviews, a little bit of text welcoming the reader, and I have here a live search that looks for all the book reviews, right? So this is a live query that looks for everything that is tagged as book review. And now if I publish this, open publish preview, you see I get a nice view with a couple of pictures. How to get these in here, I'll show you in a second. And if I click publish, it's going to take a second, and then we can view this on the web. Open the link, and we have here a nice list of the books. Beginning of Infinity, Moby Dick, and the information. These are reviewed. Okay, but where is the rating? Where is the text? That is not shown here right now. What I can do is I can switch to the cards view, and if I change anything in something that is already published, I get this button here, publish changes. So you can always be sure that if you change something, it's not going to be published automatically. You have to say, okay, this is the new version, I'm going to publish that. So let's do that and then look at the live version for a little bit of a bigger view of what's going on. So if we reload this page, we now have 3 really nice cards here, right? Beginning of infinity with a rating and the text that I've written about it, right? And that's really cool, right? Everything that's indented, that is a field like rating here, is already shown. And I can change that, of course, as well. If I click here for rating and say I only want to have this as a paragraph, it doesn't even have the rating label, and that is automatically then submitted here. If we reload here, and you see the label rating is gone and we only see the stars here. One other thing that I can do though is that I can publish the book reviews individually as well. So let me do that and say, okay, publish this please, and publish this please, and we're going to publish the information as well. And of course, now if I open these and look at these, then I have the individual page for the beginning of infinity, the header image here, the text, the rating, and all that. But what happens now to my book reviews, right? So the overview page, I can publish changes. And because these are now published pages, from the view here, we don't have the rating and the text here anymore, but instead we have links, right? So if I change this back to cards, for example, and then look at those changes, we now see, okay, beginning of infinity, Moby Dick, the information, all of these are reviewed books. But now I can click on these and it's going to take me to the published page of the review. And that lets me build like an interlinked collection of pages that I can send people to. I can tell people, hey, look at my book reviews, look at the beginning of infinity, and then they have here a section where they can click through to all these books, right? And that's really powerful because while it makes sense to have a rating and a short text here for the limited amount of information I have here, then it's easy to have that in a card and nicely displayed. But of course, for longer documents, you might not want to do that, right? And then you want individual pages that you can send people to. Now, let's look at the third example. And the third example is research notes. Let me close this here. And here we have something else that's in Tanarian Brain, a question super tag that lets you collect all sorts of information. We have a section here for synthesis material, and here I have related claims to that question, related thoughts, and all of these things. And that makes it easy to later come here and say, okay, let me open up my synthesis material here in a new panel, focus here on the synthesis, and then start writing, right? And click myself through here and say, okay, what claims do I have? What thoughts do I have? And then put all of that into some writing here. Now, there's 2 ways of sharing this. The first one is to say, okay, I'm going to have people look at the full question page basically and say, okay, I'm going to publish everything I have for the question, what will be our most important human to AI interface, right? Now I can say, publish this please, and that's going to happen. And then we look at this here, and then we have everything here, right? We have the synthesis material, related claims are a tab here, right? So this is organized in a tab view. And so I have related claims, I have related thoughts, and all of these things will be included. And important to note here is that this includes any field that these referenced nodes have as well, right? So the fleeting node that I have here has a related question. It has a topics field that is empty, related to incoming settler relations. All of these things will be shown, right? And that's something to keep in mind when you publish something where you're referencing a super tag, like I am here, right? So this is a reference node that has a super tag with fields and content. All of that content is going to be shown here on the publish page. You won't be able to follow any links, right? So AI and human-computer interfaces actually are their own nodes here, right? That have content. But those aren't shown here. But here the content of that fleeting node is shown. There's currently no way to hide one or many of these fields except by setting the hide field condition to always, right? So if I go in here and say hide field always, you'll see that creates a change. We're now under related thoughts. The field related question is not shown anymore, right? And so that's a global switch. If you want to show a field in some contexts and not others, that's not going to work. And that's important to know. Now, the other way, of course, is to say, okay, I'm actually not going to publish all of this, but I have the synthesis section here where I can say, okay, this only has the written text of a longer document, and that's what I want to publish. It still has a date field, it links to other things in my graph, but if I publish this, let me select sans serif here. I can say, okay, let's make the date, the version of my thinking on this into a quote, and then let's publish it. And now if we open this up, we have a beautiful, nice document that you can share with anyone, that you can send to people, and they have something nice that they can read. Really easy, directly from the place where you do your synthesis, directly shared to others. You can also, of course, embed videos here. So if I have a video, for example, of a recent video on a second brain in Tana, I can paste that into Tana here. I can publish changes, and we'll see in just a second when we reload this. It has that video nicely embedded. So if you have Loom videos that you want to share as part of an SOP with a contractor or with a coaching client, it's really easy, and I actually use this for my own coaching service, that I share pages with clients where I put the recordings, have those embedded, and that works really, really nicely. What also works, of course, is images. So if I want to include a new image here, I can do that. And this text here, image text, if we look at the Open Publish preview, the image text that I put above the image here is going to be rendered as the image caption, the text for that image. Now, speaking of images, you saw here that you saw in the previous example, in the book example, that I created these awesome header images, right? How does that work? It works really easily by just dragging an image up here into this area. And then that's going to be the header image of the page, right? So I'll open Publish Preview, let's publish this, and then open it up. and that is going to be the header image here, but it's also going to be the image that is shown in a car preview or anywhere else. So as you can see, it's really easy to share anything in your Tana workspace with people, from meeting notes to your book reviews or movie reviews, pages for your coaching clients or SOPs, research notes, longer reports and documents. You can easily share all of these, and I think you'll get a lot out of trying this. I'm using this right now for all my coaching clients, for sending outlines for workshops that I'm giving on using Tana, and that sort of thing. So try it out and let me know in the comments what you think. And of course, also, if you want a longer introduction into some of the super tags that you have seen here, books and questions and claims, and all of that is covered in this video on TANARIAN Brain, which is my template, my completely done for you second brain template that you can simply load into Tana and you're ready to go with Para, GTD, Zettelkasten, what have you. It's all in there, nicely designed, and people have been getting a lot out of it. So give it a go, watch that video. And if you want to purchase TANARIAN Brain, if you use the code PAGE, on the checkout, you get $50 off of the purchase price. So see you in that video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.